G'day, I'm Brian Chapman and the owner of True Blue Aussie Gardener, and we of course sell the Power Planter tool. And I want to tell you a little bit of a funny story of how we came across the Power Planter. Now, originally my previous career was as a horticulturist, a landscape designer, and then I ended up becoming a photographer for 20 years. And we live on this beautiful property here at Dural in Sydney, in northwest Sydney. And I wanted to create this effect of having lots of beautiful flowers around, a field of flowers, and we'd done it a few times, we'd tried, but then the rabbits would come in and eat them all because they loved all the young shoots, and then we put a fence around it, and then the weeds would grow, and we must have tried it 3 or 4 times, and then I thought, you know what would be good is if we had lots of bulbs, because the bulbs will sprout up. If we can protect them from the rabbits for a little while, well, then hopefully we'll get our field of flowers. And so I came across this ad on eBay from a lady who was selling bulbs cheap, a lot of bulbs in bulk. And I thought, this is what I need. And so I bought 500 bulbs, and they weren't these particular ones. This was a couple of years ago now. But they come like this, little brown bulbs. And I bought 500 and they were a great price. And before they arrived, I thought, oh, they're such a good deal, I'll buy some more. So I bought another 500. And then they did arrive, and I thought, oh great, they're for real, she's legit. And so I bought another 1,000 and bought another 1,000 and bought another couple of thousand actually. And so I ended up having quite a lot of bulbs, and before you knew it, I discovered I'd bought 20,000 bulbs altogether. And that's a lot of bulbs. And if you're married, any men out there, you'll be knowing the next thing you need to explain to your wife why on earth you've bought 20,000 bulbs, and even more importantly, how you intend to get them into the ground. Because I knew that she wasn't going to be happy with trying to use a spade and digging 20,000 holes. And so I looked at all the different options out there to try and find something that would help me to actually dig these holes for these bulbs. In Australia, I tried the manual bulb planters and little mattocks and spades and other like spade drill bits. I tried just about anything I could think of, and none of them really worked very well. And so I thought I better look overseas and see what we can find. And so I looked over in Europe and America, and I came across this thing called the Power Planter. And I thought I'll give it a go. So I secretly bought one. And when it arrived, I went out into the garden by myself, made sure my wife wasn't home, because I didn't want to look like an idiot if it didn't work. You can see I've been married for a while, I know the tricks. And I attached it to my cordless drill. I remember I'm by myself in the garden, and I just pressed the trigger and I went down, and it just went zzz, and the hole was done in maybe 3 seconds. I actually started laughing out loud by myself in the garden, almost like that villainous laugh, because it had like I'd struck gold in some form, because this was our answer. Now I could finally tell my wife that I bought all these bulbs and I wasn't going to get shot. And the cool thing was, I started thinking about going, well, if it can dig one hole, because that's what it's designed for, I wonder if we dug a whole lot of holes near each other, could we actually use it to cultivate the ground? And so I started experimenting with it and drilling clusters of holes, and then with it spinning, I moved between the holes, and I found it broke the soil up really well. And it actually did a better job than, say, a petrol-powered rotary hoe, which only goes to maybe 5 or 6 inches maximum deep. I could go deeper with this thing. And so then I was able to add compost and manure and actually rejuvenate beds, and it was in a fraction of the time. I thought, this is crazy, why haven't we been using this? Now the funny thing is, this has been in America for 20 years, but it's never made it out here. And so I decided at that point, I'm going to give this a go and see if we can bring this to Australia, because I really think that gardeners are going to love this. If I'm excited by it, I'm hoping that you guys would be as well. And so we started bringing them in, and we got a couple of orders, and people were writing some good testimonials, and it just took off. And that's been my journey of how Power Planter started. And, the core thing about that is that we're continuing with is that we want to make sure that we're giving you great customer service. We want to make sure we're only selling really good products, and so we're trying and testing everything that we offer you first before we get it out there. And you'll see that explained in some of the other videos I talk about as well. But that's our little story. I consider myself a bit of a rusty horticulturist. It's been like 25, yeah, I'm getting old, 25 or so years since I did a degree in horticulture. Some things I remember, other things I'm a bit rusty on. But I guess we're all a bit like that, aren't we? Anyway, thanks for having a look and watching the video, and drop us a line sometime, say hi, especially if you bought a power planner or one of the other products, and let us know how it went for you.